Now, I call upon Professor Sampol, Assistant Professor, Department of English, to introduce a premier speaker, Dr. Namra Muni.
Thank you, sir. It's my privilege to introduce plenary speaker, Dr. Namra Munir Watu. Dr. Namra Munir Watu is an assistant professor of education at Education University in Pakistan. She teaches in the Department of Education for about 18 years. She joined the doctoral program at the University of Lahore, Pakistan. She has written 20 books and published numerous journal articles since 2016. Besides, she has many feathers to add in her cap. She is a teacher, researcher, author, and international keynote speaker. She has been honored from several institutions and organizations. She is an external evaluator of MPhil theses in different universities of Pakistan and distinct member of the Punjab Educational Research Journal. She has also decorated many posts as such: the Secretary, Board of Studies, Department of Education, Member of Research Committee, Associate Editors, International Journal of Research in Education and Social Science. She holds a lifetime membership in the Institute of Global Professionals IGP Bangladesh. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your presence. Now I heartily welcome you to give a plenary speech.
Thank you so much. So nice of you. Thank you. Are you audible?
Yes,
Are you
yes, you're
hearing
audible,
me?
ma'am.
Okay.
You can start.
Thank you. Today's my topic is testing and evaluation. As my topic is very common for teachers and students. Everyone know about that and have fear in her mind or heart. Everyone fear about the testing and evaluation. Even at my stage of age, when I appear in a test, I feel fear about the testing. Testing, what is testing and what is evaluation and assessment? We use three terminologies for this: testing, evaluation, and assessments. These are related in terms and meanings. They are very close to each other's. Testing is the process of gathering information from various sources that accurately reflect how well a student is achieving the curriculum expectations in a courses. And evaluations mean refer the process of judging the quality of students' work on the basis of established criteria and assigning a value to represent the quality. Actually, why we assess students and why we evaluate our students, the primary purpose to assess and evaluate to improve student learning as a basic component in our education sector that we assess the students. There are many purposes, but main focus of this that we want to improve our students learning, understanding their achievements, etc., and determining students' strengths and weaknesses as well in achievement course of expectations. Next, why we evaluate students to guide teachers in adopting curriculum and instruction approaches to students' needs. Next one is assess the overall effectiveness of program and classroom practices. And there are many ways to evaluate students. Here I discuss only three types of evaluation: diagnosis, formative, and summative. At the diagnosis, when we at the start of the program, when we diagnose any problem, then we evaluate the diagnostics evaluation. Formative is during the running of the program, and during the semester, during the class, during the lecture, during any sort of thing we within the program. When we evaluate, it's called the formative. And at the end of the program, at the end of the class, at the end of lecture, at the end of the day, at the end of the year, or at the end of the semester, when we evaluate the students, it's called the summative evaluation. What is the importance of the evaluation? The importance that students are informed about evaluation and understand the purpose of evaluation. When we inform students you will be evaluated, it will beneficial more and more, and its results are more comprehensive and more importantly. We evaluate three things in evaluation: knowledge, skills, and process. Knowledge means we evaluate or we assess or we test what the students know about lesson, know about lectures, know about curriculum, know about our syllabus, know about which we taught, what they know about that is called the knowledge. And skill performance, what the students can do, which we taught students, we evaluate them, what the students can do with this. And third one is process, how students go about the task of doing. With three ways we evaluate them. Nature of the evaluations are diagnostic. Diagnosis is evaluation when we tell us what the students need to learn. When we plan diagnostics assessment, we or evaluation, we have in results, know the results in the shape when we discuss and we plan about the tell us what the students need to learn. We have a plan in, we have to make plan about the results of this. And the formative tell us how. Amit, want to say something? Okay. Formative tell us how well the students is doing as work progress, and summative assessment tell us how will the students did at the end of the unit or end of the program or end of the task. Whom will be involved in the evaluation? Teachers, students, administrators, parents, students, peers, all are involved in assessment. We assess through teachers, through students, through administrator, through parents, through students, peers, etc. We use many sources, and we can assess students learning characteristics, we assess ability of the differences, learning real differences, and learning style, students motivational characters, interest, and goals or in orientations where they want to go, we assess with this. We learn learning, we assess content knowledge, ability to apply content knowledge, skills and dispositions and attitudes, and performance as well we judge from your assessment. And ways of evaluation of teachers and students, number one is a good teacher teaches and learn, self monitoring, audio and video recording, students' feedback on teaching, questionnaire, interview is the ways from which we assess the students and we evaluate the student. A good teacher teaches the learners. When a teacher is teaching someone, is assessing by the students. Self monitoring, you can assess yourself also. Audio and video recording, you can record your lecture, you can record your lesson, record your plans, and then watch, and then you assess yourself or assess by peers or assess your teachers and assess your students also. And students be feedback on teaching. And the end of the semester we have each I think many institutions have planned that at the end of the semester or end of the year, students evaluate their teachers that they finish their curriculum at the time, their learning style is good, their teaching method is good or not, they are regular or not, they punctual or not. And this is the way of students feedback on the teaching. And we make the questionnaire too for assessing assessment or evaluation, and we prepare an interview as well. And feedback from observation by the colleagues and experts, we can evaluate others by interview or questionnaire or discussions with their colleagues or their experts, how they perform. And peer observations also is the assessment tool. Observation by senior colleagues is also a tool or also a way to assess or to calculate their learning or their work progress as well. Observation by professionals or an outside the party, when and outsiders are judging a teacher or judging a person, as impact more impact on our learning and our achievements. And these are the assessing for teachers. And how is the second angle of the assessment is when teacher assess their students. Teachers assess their students through many ways. Number one, they give papers, and papers in paper they give a test, which we all commonly use for test or paper. We in different techniques we are using the assessment, and each and every assessment technique is have their objectives. Actually, assessment is based on our objectives, why we assess our students, why we evaluate our students, why we test our students. It depends, our test, our evaluation, our assessment is depends that why we want to assess our students. If we want to judge their knowledge, their understanding, their comprehension, their skills, then the test is different shape. When we assess their practice, their abilities, their skills, then the test is continues the different shapes. If we want just which type of a person he is, we want to judge his personality. It's a different types of evaluation or assessment or techniques. And in this shapes, there are many types of questions or items we make to assess the students. Number one, true false items, multiple choices items, completions items, short answers, essay type questions, practical exams, report writing, paper writing, projects, questionnaires. We make checklist, peer rating, self rating, journals, portfolios, observations, discussions, interview. There are many techniques for evaluating our teaching towards the students. How we teach, we make questions or we make paper, we make interview, we plan in observations, we write in journals, portfolio, self rating, peer rating, etc, etc. Actually, on which we select, we have many ways, many platforms to judge the students, we have many ways to judge the students, we have many criteria to judge the student. But if we want to judge the knowledge of the students, then we have to prepare a paper which is consisted on typically knowledge based questions. If we want to judge students behavior, then it depends on, right, it depends on the no, behavior wise questions. If we want to judge his personality, then we give the situation, a scenario which the students write down the in his own words a scenario of that situations or that condition. Then we judge from that write up which type of the personality he or she. Or we give the question in, give them scenario that if the classroom or in your colleagues and this problem is occurs, how you will handle this problem. This is from this we can understand his personality or his perception about taking the things or handling the situations. And if we want to judge his skills, then we have to give them a practical shape, practical exams, and give a chance to do something from his or her hand. And if we want to judge his comprehension or synthesis, also we give them a report or projects or uh, anything. And if we want to judge a survey and we want to uh, gain knowledge from different people, and we want to survey, we have a problem and we want that many people give opinion about this, we have to prepare a questionnaire and spread this questionnaire by yourself or with the help of friends or with the help of colleagues and relatives, and get information on a questionnaire, and you sort out the problem. And if you want to part of the and part of the activity and want to evaluate or assess or test that scenario, that condition or that environment, then you have to participate on this, and you have to make a checklist about that. A checklist means there are two types of checklists: is a pre-planned or an open checklist. In pre-planned mean you have the focused observation, you just focus, you write down the fixed that you just check this type, you just check the timing, the environment, the culture, the furniture, and atmosphere, just. And if you want you go there and just give the paper and with paper and pen and have no plan to judge this, then the checklist is only for the timing and only for the few things, and you write that scenario and come back home and write a report about this scenario, and then you evaluate this scenario. Actually, we next is we peer rating. Actually, when we work in environment, we are not the only person. We are a group of peoples. We work there, and actually, if I'm a teacher, it's not my way of evaluation from my side that to evaluate from the students only. If management want to judge me, then he evaluate me through students, through my administration, and my peers also, my colleagues also. If a teacher is a good teacher, it's a very good thing. But if a teacher is a good psychologist, good friend, good human being, and good colleague, is extraordinary, very good thing. Actually, I think that teachers are a role model for students. Then teachers play very carefully and stay in their institutes very carefully, very uh, mm, planned and very actively and effectively. Then is possible only then the organizations plan to assess and evaluate the teachers by peers, by administration, and by students in three-sided. Then it will be more emphasizes on the personality development also. We everyone knows about the journals. Journals mean research journals, or when we have to assess or evaluate a person through a journal, write up their research papers, their books, and their written form. Actually, communications have many ways. This is the verbal communication. I talk to you, and you see me. It's a body. I move my hands. It's a body language, and it's a sign communication. When I give you a write up, it's a written communication. Actually, in journals, in articles, in different things, we have to communicate. We are communicating with our readers. They judge us. They judge us. They judge our personality. They judge our understanding. They judge us knowledge through our write-ups. We evaluate from the journals and portfolio, obviously discussions and interview. When you want to judge something or evaluate to something, you plan an interview, a panel interview, and you judge the different personalities. From a very, it's very common to give admissions to students. We arrange interviews before the intake of the students, to give that admission of the students in institution. We plan interviews, and as well, if you want to give a job to a candidate, we plan interview. Actually, we want to judge, we want to evaluate, we want to assess that person, are he or she is suitable for this particular position, for this particular purpose or not. So one criteria is interview also. In what type or these are the methods: portfolio, question answers, MCQs, papers, journals, write-ups, observations. Each and everything is the evaluations uh, uh, evaluations method. We can evaluate from the sources. But how we judge that? What is the main focus, and what is the specific particular type of the evaluation or method of evaluation for what this particular thing? How we select that? Which type of evaluation we conduct on this purpose? is is have three, four, five main criterias. The selection of the evaluation technique or evaluation method, how we evaluate this from this person, is first of all is reliability. Second is validity. Reliability, you check the validity and reliability of that instrument from you are using for the evaluation or for the assessment, for the testing. Reliability and validity. If the test is reliable and valid, reliable mean is its results must be meet with our objectives, and validity is a valid instrument we are using to check that this instrument is valid for the evaluation, for the assessment of this particular subject, is to check the validity of that instrument. Second one, we have to keep in mind to select the instrument to evaluate or assess that's cheaper in terms of cost and time. It must be cheap. It's not too much costly or not too much time consuming as well. It's less cost. It depends on less cost and less time to conduct it. Second one, easy to operate as well. You have to, when you plan an assessment or evaluation or test, is keep in your mind that it is must be easy to operate. And because we are making it for the students or candidate, then you must keep in your mind that acceptability by the candidate and society, our culture, our environment also. These instrument is matched with our society and acceptable for our society, acceptable for our students, acceptable for our students and candidates. Also keep in this mind to select any source of any tool for assessment or evaluation or anything else. And you must keep in your mind that that instrument leads students improvement. Actually, first point is this for my this lecture is that we want to assess students or candidate to improve their learning, to judge their learning, to judge their knowledge. So keep in your mind that lead students or candidate improvement, you should select your instrument to judge or test or assessment. Reliability, validity, cheaper in terms and cost, easy in operation, and accepted by student, society, and culture, and lead students improvement. That's all from my side on testing and evaluation. If you want to ask any question, you're welcome. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very
Any
much.
question? Any questions from the audience? Ma'am, one question, ma'am.
No question. Okay. Thank you very much for giving us a chance to interact with you from Pakistan. I'm very
Yes, yes.
thankful to you. Thank you. So nice of you.